G'day humans, Chris Stead here. Today I'm going to talk to you about a little email I just got from Sonos, the guys that made this, the Sonos Ace, in which they've apologised for the state of the Sonos app when it was released in May 2024 and offered a rather thorough rundown of what they're going to do about it. So let's dive in. So it's well documented that customers weren't happy with the Sonos app when it first came out, at least the existing fan base and those that have been with the Sonos company, its audio equipment, its ecosystem for quite a while. Now that app came out, I believe it was the end of May. It was just before this landed on June 5, 2024. So I think it was the end of May when that app first came out. And I was doing a lot of content on the time around the Sonos Ace, and the Sonos Ace's existence was one of the, not the main driver, but it was a key part of the puzzle in terms of why the app was rebuilt and repurposed and re-released. So there was a lot of connection between the two, and I was certainly getting a stack of comments from some very, very upset fans about the state of play with the app, mostly the features that had been removed and how you interacted with it, the UI. But mostly it was about the features that weren't there. And also the way that it brought in the old library or didn't. And yeah, just basically pulled the rug from underneath a lot of existing customers' feet. So that has instigated a big Sonos internal review. And they've gone through and looked at everything around the launch of that app, the building of the app, how the app got released, and everything that's happened since the app. And today I got an email from them. It was a general purpose email, it wasn't to me directly, it was out to all the media, where they basically stated the results of that review and the outcomes in terms of how they're going to act in the future. And I thought it was really, really interesting. So I wanted to do this video because I've been racking my brain trying to think if I can think of any other examples of where a company of the magnitude of Sonos has taken such a significant step in terms of acknowledging that they stuffed up and then going out and making a commitment to what they're going to do in the future that fans can hold them to. Now, it's definitely not unique. I feel like I've experienced this a few times in the past, but I think it's still unusual and definitely worth pointing out and taking you through. So I've got my laptop out here because I've literally just got the email. I'm going to take you through the things that they have said that they are going to do and the results of this review. Now, there's 7 kind of commitments or 7 parts to what they've issued here. There's a whole bunch of statements and stuff about, you know, we apologise, we stuffed up, and we're not going to do it again, and this is what you can hold us to. But there's 4 parts to it, which are basically about what they've now analysed was the cause of it and why it happened, why the app wasn't released to the standard that their customers expected it to be. And then there's 3 commitments, so that's the 7. What I think I might do is just read these out to you because you might as well just get it exactly from the horse's mouth without me getting in the middle here with any opinion or analysis or making any mistakes. And it's going to be interesting because I'm blind as a bat nowadays, but anyway. This is part of what fell under the category of what they think were the root causes. So number 1, unwavering focus on the customer experience. So to ensure that we deliver the highest level of customer experience, we will always establish ambitious quality benchmarks at the outset of product development and will not launch products before meeting this criteria. We will also enhance the tools necessary to measure the quality of the experience actually being delivered to customers to ensure that we maintain the standards our customers expect. So that would suggest to me that they're saying like they didn't set, the part of their review was, and how did this happen, what was the root cause, is they didn't set a high enough expectation, they didn't set a capability on which to test that expectation out well enough, and so they just failed to meet both of those requirements. Number 2, increase the stringency of our pre-launch testing phases. So our beta testing program will include more types of customers and more diverse setups for a longer testing period. This will allow us to find, diagnose and solve customer concerns more quickly before going to market. So that suggests to me that they're saying that, hey, we pulled this pool together of 2,000 beta testers from this one particular part of the world and they were cool with it, so we were cool with it. Whereas what they possibly should have done is gone deeper, further and more diverse, and that is what they're going to plan to do in the future. Demonstrate humility when introducing changes. Interesting. Okay, so in contrast to the all-at-once automated app release we issued in May, any major changes to the Sonos app will be released gradually, allowing customers to adjust and provide feedback before it becomes the default. For new features smaller in scope, we will introduce an opt-in experimental features option in the app for customers who would like to participate in testing them. Okay, so I think this is a really good move because that was one of the big things straight away. I was getting a lot of feedback at the time. People were just kind of going, they're just like, the message going around was don't update, because you couldn't roll back and people wanted to. So then, and it was a big change. It was like a completely new experience. So what they're saying now is that next time they're not going to just go, here's everything we're going to do in one go, and then have to manage all the bits of feedback for all those things at once, which was probably way overwhelming for them. Instead, what they're going to do is they're going to go, right, we're going to do all these big changes. First, we're going to release this, have a taste, see, let's know what you think, then we'll release this, then release this, then release this, until we get it all out. So that's, that kind of makes sense to me. And the fact that you can opt in, so that'd be good. I'd like to see potentially then be able to opt out. So can you opt in, test it, if you don't like it, opt out until it's been fixed. That's something I'd like to see included. I think people would like that. Okay, number 4, appoint a quality ombudsman. So this new role will ensure our employees have a clear path to escalate any concerns in terms of quality and customer experience. This person will be consulted by executive leadership throughout the development process and before any product launches. In this role, the ombudsman will guarantee transparency and publish a report to management employees twice per year, only twice, and will present regularly to the Sonos board of directors. Okay, so what's this saying? This is probably suggesting to me that there were people in the company who were flagging that there was problems and that message didn't get through. That's what that's telling me. There was no middleman or woman who was available to be able to go, okay, these concerns have been raised by the technical people who are in the know, or the customer facing people, what happens to be, and it's not getting through to management, so or it's not getting through to management with the priority it needs to be gotten through to. So again, that seems like just smart practice in my thoughts, but if they didn't have it already, they will have it going forward. Okay, so those are the 4 issues that surrounded the Sonos app launch that their review has established were the root causes of it not hitting the mark, basically, and therefore what they're going to change next time. Now, the last 3 of their 7 commandments, I guess you could say, is to look at getting the respect back of the customers. So it's interesting that they've come out with this because, from obviously I'm not within the company. I can't see what's happened to the sales. I can't see what's happened with the dropout rate, where the people have been just not using Sonos. Like a sales dip. I don't know what's going on from that side of things. But obviously there has the bounce back was significant because this is a full on email to get. I've been doing this for 30 years. I don't know if I've ever got one this full on. Anyway, the 3 ways that Sonos is going to get your respect back, if you lost respect for them. Extend our home speaker warranties. So to reflect our strong belief in the quality of our products, we will extend the manufacturer's warranty by 1 year for all home theater and plug-in speaker products currently under warranty. Okay, that doesn't seem app related. That's just to say, no, we're boss, here's another year, nothing's going to go wrong. Sonos stuff is great, by the way. Like the product quality and the audio and everything's exceptional. So from that side of things, but yeah, so you get an extra year if you have something related to their home theater and a plug-in speaker. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head if it's anything. When they say home theater, they are specifically referring to the Arc and the sound bars. I mean, this works with the Arc, so that's home theater, I would have thought, the Ace. You can turn all your Sonos speakers into your home theater if you want to. You can put stuff in the roof, you can hook up a couple of Era 300s, though they should just say all products, I guess. But anyway, that's 1. 2, relentlessly improve the app experience with regular software upgrades. We will roll out updated mobile software versions every 2 to 4 weeks to optimize and enhance the software experience, even once this issue is resolved. So they are saying elsewhere in this piece that they're expecting the final, they said they've got 80% of the way through rectifying what they've identified as the problems people have with the app, and they're hoping to get to 100%, they said, within the next few weeks. So let's just say by the end of October 2024. So they're pretty close to that. And then they're going to continue to roll out software updates every 2 to 4 weeks afterwards, continue to optimize. Isn't that what companies do anyway? Anyway, I guess what they're saying is that once they've got it up to the standard that they believe that customers are expecting, it's not going to stop there. They're going to then go further. Yeah, that one to me just sounds like they were going to, they would be doing that anyway, I would think. Maybe not as regularly as 2 to 4 weeks. What are they going to update that often? I don't know. But anyway, so that's number 2. That's number 6, but number 2 of the earn your respect back part of this email. And the last one is establish a customer advisory board. To ensure we never lose sight of the voice of the customer, this board will provide feedback and insights from a customer perspective to help shape and improve our software and products before they are launched. Okay, so this is a commitment they're making, right? So what they're basically saying is earlier they said they're going to improve their beta testing, they're going to get more beta testers, it's going to be more varied, you're going to be able to opt in to app changes and test them before you kind of have to commit to them. So that's something they said they're going to do in terms of fixing this problem from ever happening again. And then in terms of then making sure that you're aware that they're doing that, they're going to have a customer advisory board that's obviously going to be public facing of some sort, where even if you're not a tester, you can provide feedback, but also you can hear what that feedback was. So again, not massively, not a huge leap forward, but they're actually committing to doing it, which means if the new product comes out and that doesn't happen, or at least if a new app comes out and that doesn't happen, then you can say, well, you said you'd do that, and you didn't. Anyway, so those are the 7 commandments of Sonos moving forward, specifically around the app. And obviously the app though then is very specifically related to the suite of Sonos products. So my first reaction when I got this email was like, whoa, okay. And you know, my gut immediately had a bit of respect for the company. Well, I already respect Sonos. I think they do really great products, but I know how upset people were about that app. It didn't actually really affect me too much because I don't have all my libraries in there, and a lot of the features that people were complaining about being removed weren't features that I used regularly. So, and plus I got so many negative comments, I held off on updating for a little bit. So I wasn't as dramatically affected as a lot of customers were, but I know how many people were. So I respect the company for coming out and owning this and saying, yeah, we stuffed up and this is how we're going to go about it, and making that public. And then putting it out in such a way that they're saying, you hold us to this. So, I know look, the internet's not a very friendly place a lot of the time, at least from the people who make a lot of noise. They're not generally happy people from what I've seen. So it'd be interesting to see what the grander feedback is like. Please do leave your thoughts in the comments below, especially if you were someone who was really upset with Sonos, really disgruntled, maybe even stopped using the product. I'd love to know if what I've just told you today is something that's turned you around, changed your opinion, whether you were going to wait and see if the proof is in the pudding, because yeah, it's not unprecedented, but it's a pretty full-on statement that the company has made today. And in general, like, I've got heaps of Sonos reviews on my channel, go check them out. In general, the quality of the product is really good, and the sound quality is excellent. And it's been interesting because, just as a complete sidetrack, but I've been getting a couple of soundbars in lately to do some reviews of, and they're like big name soundbars from big name players. And I've got the Arc sitting in my other room, and the Arc just punches so well. Like, the Arc delivers over these dedicated, like, the Arc's dedicated soundbar, but like, from some, the TV manufacturers and that. So the product's really good. So hopefully, if there is a lot of anger still directed out there towards Sonos, this does help alleviate it somewhat, and we continue to get good product in the future and even better support with the app and any app updates moving forward. Okay, I'm Chris Stead. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you check out my other videos. Until next time, I'll check you later.